actual contenders. And when you look at the National Football League, Mike and others are starving for some change and some different teams, a refresher when it comes to the Super Bowl. Because since 2017, it has been the Eagles 3 times, San Francisco twice, the Rams twice, and the Bucks once, representing the NFC. For the AFC, it has only been the Patriots, Chiefs, and Bengals. So over 8 seasons, 7 total franchises have taken the 16 total berths in the Super Bowl.
And you never hear parity, though, with the NFL, like a parity problem.
Right.
You hear it in the other sports.
Right.
And then the NBA had the ultimate lack of parity over the last, over like the previous 30 years, 40 years. But in the recent years, it's been the most parity-driven from a getting to the championship perspective. And then baseball's right there. Hockey, I mean, it's been like Florida wins a couple, Tampa won a couple. You've had a lot of the same teams get in, but you never hear the parity word because there's so much turnover at the bottom of the playoffs.
We talked about this while you were out. I brought it up during a commercial break because I'd seen it on Reddit, and it was stunning. Yeah, because you think about the NFL as like, oh, that's the parity-driven league. That's the everybody's 500 league, and they've got all this turnover. How many of the 32 NFL teams have never won a Super Bowl?
13.
Just off the top of your head.
Okay, let's
13.
No, throw me a number.
13. 13.
13. And you don't think of it like that. I think most people think like, oh, okay, there's the Lions and like the Texans haven't won one. But like generally, I don't think you're thinking, no, more than a third of the league still has not won a title in the Super Bowl era. And it is just, it's become very limited in the AFC, like you say, and there's a little bit more turnover NFC wise. But as long as like Kansas City is the constant that they've been, the NFL does have a little bit of a repetitive problem.
So who's on Florio's list?
So he lists the teams that are legitimate contenders, and these are the ones who he thinks these are the teams that can actually perform and compete for a Super Bowl this year. And then he's got 3 more that he has on the outside of just like, we'll see. Maybe they could. We'll see how things go for them. Maybe they can work themselves into contention. So these are the 10 teams he says are ready to compete right now in a Super Bowl window this year.
Need some help, baby?
The Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Texans. That's the AFC.
Trey.
Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Texans,
and Bengals.
Okay.
NFC, Eagles, Lions, Rams, 49ers, and Commanders. And the 3 could work their way into the discussion: Broncos, Chargers, Vikings.
Dang, so we didn't even make the...
We're not even in the maybe. We're not even in the maybe. That's not where we're at right now, which is actually... It might not be so bad. They're right now. It's one of those times where nobody is talking about them like a Super Bowl contender.
No,
at all. And yet there's still like a positive outlook. People are still optimistic. It feels like right now. Yeah, here people are optimistic about where the Cowboys can be.
Although I guess nationally too, as they were on the list of like surprise. This is an underrated team.
Yeah, and so it's kind of this. They're in a weird spot where people are optimistic, think they're going to be better, and yet nobody's talking about them as a contender. So it's almost just kind of like, well, you can be optimistic and sort of play free because nobody actually expects you to do anything of substance. Yeah. And so it puts them in an interesting... The last time they were in this spot was 21. And they broke out and played really well. But I'm looking at that list of 13, and my first inclination was, is it too... is he missing some teams? Is it too narrow? Is he just avoiding some teams? The more I look at it, the more I'm going, this is too wide. I don't think this is... I don't think all these teams have a shot to compete. Mm-hmm. And I think I think legitimately what you're looking at right now would probably be...
Does Walchuk need to cover his ears here?
Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Eagles, Lions, and then one other. And I don't know who the one other would be right now.
Yeah, I don't think Houston has it either. I don't think San Fran has it. I don't think Washington has it.
I'm really surprised he threw San Francisco on there after everything went sideways last year and they had to purge.
That list is too broad.
I could see the Rams. I could see Cincy. I think there's 7.
I could see it. To me, that's the maybe category you talked about. I could maybe see Cincinnati. The defense is better. Yes, Cincinnati's got a shot.
Right.
I don't know. The Rams to me are just, they kind of hang around. Like the Rams winning it this year or being in contention to me would be the same as like, oh, the Pacers made it.
Look,
I hate them. They're just so well coached, and Stafford's like
The Rams are one of these teams I can't figure out.
Yeah.
I want to discount them in my own brain, but then they sit there and make noise. That the media loves to put the Rams up there.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's LA. It's flashy for, what the Rams have been. And they're going to, if they are. And like, McVay's a really good coach. Stafford's a really good quarterback.
Look, let me tell you what's going to happen. All right, put it on the wall.
Tell us what's going to happen.
Write it down. Take a picture.
Take a picture of it.
IDGAF.
Okay.
The Cowboys, everyone talking about 8 wins. They're going to start off, they're going to be 4-2, and they're going to be hyped up. And oh my gosh, here it is. And it's Stephen A. I'm giving you the exact chronological
what can
timeline.
go on
Stephen A. will say, just wait, right? Playing the odds, as it's easy to do that a team doesn't win the Super Bowl, and then you can say I told you so, and you get all your clicks. They'll be 4-2 or 7-3, one of the two. And the hype train will be out of control, and then we'll see what happens in the second half of the season. But 4-2 or 7-3, it's going down, and then first half Cowboys season hype.
If they're 7-3, then I'll just say, if you're right about that scenario, then I will add on to that. Brian Schottenheimer is like the Vegas favorite for Coach of the Year at that point.
Well, he can be the Vegas favorite for Coach of the Year at that point.
Yeah, at that point.
But then we get to the second half of the schedule, because you got Giants, Bears, Jets, Panthers, Commanders, Broncos, Cardinals, Raiders.
We mentioned you have to be 7-3 if you want to make the playoffs. If you want to get to 10 wins, you've got to be 7-3.
Yeah.
Because after the Raiders, you get Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Chargers, Commanders, and then you get the Giants and the Vikings sprinkled in. But
and obviously
that's tough.
That will
he's actually putting it up on the wall. He's putting it up on the wall.
That will change.
On the wall.
That will change. It's a beautiful wall.
Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. Hope everybody's having a great Monday. You know what? It's crazy. 2 weeks from yesterday, the Dallas Cowboys will be reporting to training camp, and we can stop talking about this mindless minutia. We'll know that the players are being tucked in an Oxnard and not having to worry about being pulled over, busted for weed and guns. Because, the Cowboys, they can't stay off the weed, as Stephen A. Smith says. Before we get into everything that is the Dallas Cowboys in this season of nothingness, let's say hello to everybody who's already in here, all the lovely ladies. Jeff Lee is already pounding the pavements here with the number one amount of comments. Marcus Blackman is in third. Mean Metal Mike, who is a Laker fan, is in second place right now. Damn, Mark got a tan. Keep working hard, brother. Yeah, I've been out working in the sun on the red brick house, getting in steps. I've got 10,000 plus steps every day for like 5 days in a row. And I'm trying to drop some weight before the madness of actually football season, where we start, basically having food debaucheries. So let me say hello to Holly Pierce. Shout out to Holly. Appreciate you checking in on me and Miss Tracy to make sure that we're okay. We're doing good. Of course, I got Kid Cowboy in the house and Aisha Robinson over there on the other channel. Shout out to Aisha Robinson. Lady Libra is in the house. Lovely Linda, I still have yet to get an email from you with size and address for your shirt. Linda, come on, Linda. CowboysMark94 at Gmail. Let's see, who of us I missed? Let's see, Karen. Welcome, Karen. How are you doing tonight, Karen? And we got Miss Hot Sauce. I don't know where you've been, Miss Hot Sauce, but we've been burning without you. See, did I get everybody? So, everybody, Micah Parsons. Shout out to Micah Parsons, the Lion, who, because of Micah Parsons, it's his fault that there has not been major headlines of things to talk about, because Got that a little too soon. Because Micah Parsons hasn't held out like CeeDee Lamb, like Zeke Elliott, like other players around the NFL. We haven't heard is CeeDee Lamb got to play on his 5th-year contract? Is CeeDee Lamb going to get traded? Is this the last year for CeeDee Lamb? Is he going to be able to walk? What are the Cowboys going to do? Are they going to trade him? We haven't had any of that conversation, which is why it's so dry. It's dry. It's dry. There's not a lot to talk about. We keep hearing all these proposed trades. I'm seeing shit today. Cowboys it's like, don't click on it. Don't even entertain it anymore. Okay, because we're going to be here in 2 weeks. In 2 freaking weeks, we're going to be in here and we are going to be talking about.
Because we sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game.
I can't wait till we can actually talk about
practice. About practice.
Yeah, practice.
Not a game.
Not the game.
The game that I go out there and
die for.
And play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man.
What else silly is that? We're talking about practice.
I know I spoke.
It won't be silly. It's going to be better than the silly shit we've been talking about for the last 4 weeks. We'll be talking about practice, the guys actually out on the field. All right, so let's get to it. Micah Parsons ended up putting out a TikTok, You Don't Stop, that said, soon. Soon what? Soon. There's so many things that could mean soon. My first thought is, and I don't know how many of you guys are old like me, okay? But there was a movie back in the 60s or early 70s, The Battle of the Bulge. Okay, how many guys remember I Love Weed, Free Kayvon? Yeah, he did have 420 receiving yards last year. If you've seen that movie, the Germans ended up, it's based on the actual Battle of the Bulge. The Germans who were surrounding Bastogne, they sent a message to the Americans and told them to surrender, okay? And the reply from Anthony McAuliffe was a one-word reply: nuts. That was it. Nuts. The Germans got the response and they looked at it and they said, nuts. And they probably thought, what the F does that mean? Nuts. Was it these nuts? Maybe that was the first case of D's nuts, and it just kind of grew. Okay, okay. But when I saw this, now this is what Micah Parsons posted, and I'll probably get copyright written for the music, but oh well. But it was this.
Time to right my wrong, no. I just wanna ball, mama. I just want it all. I don't care about the law. I got time to right my wrong, no. I just wanna ball.
So, help me understand, what does that mean? Soon. Is soon we're going to camp and we're going to start balling? I just want to ball? That was the music that was there. And Lola, what do you mean I look rough? You mean the scraggly hair? I need to shave? Or I think I've been clearing a lot of brush. And about 2 weeks ago, I'd gotten like poison ivy literally on my face, and my eyes were swollen. And I've been out in the sun, and I haven't been using sunscreen. And I've been walking like 10,000. I've actually averaged about 12,000 steps. I know. It seems like if this eye seems irritated, I don't know if I got poison ivy in it again, and it's like it's lazy. It's kind of it's tired. I got a tired eye. See, it's tired. It wants to sleep. Okay. Is that what you mean? Yeah, it might be. Again, I think I had brush against me, and earlier. This week, it was a red spot on there. Is it still red? Okay, I don't know. But look, hey, man, I'm almost 60 years old. I'm supposed to look rough. I'm supposed to look rough. Oh, I look super tan. Do I look tan? I still think I look pretty light. Okay, all right. Sammy Davis, it's not glass. Okay, I'll do the show like this. How's that? Is that better? Are my eyes wide open? Okay, all right. So, I don't know. I'm lighter. I was 260 this morning, which is a lot better than the 275 I started out in January. So, maybe I lost weight from this eye or something. Maybe that's where it all came from. And now it's just sagging. You know how when you lose weight, you kind of get the skin? And maybe that's what it is. I lost weight around my eye, and so I've got the fat rolls of skin. That's probably what it is, okay? No, she said rough. No, she said rough. Is rough meaning good? Did I get it? Did I get it wrong? Is it a new term and I don't know what it is because I'm just that old? I know I need my hair cut. It's getting kind of, yeah, I did watch Band of Brothers. I know your history buff like me. Oh, yeah, Band of Brothers is great. Hey, Weed, do you want to make a bet on the game? Obi-Wan Kenobi, how many have you done? Stop talking how old you are. You're as young as a field. Oh, George. Okay. You don't understand. People don't understand when I say I'm old. It's like I'm seasoned. I'm experienced. I've seen a lot of things. I don't mean it as a negativity thing, okay? I am actually very proud because if I look at my steps, the amount of steps that I take a day, that I am like in the top 7% of people my age. And surprisingly, people my age walk more than people that are younger. So if I got an eye that's just kind of like Mitch Green, hi, I'm Mitch Green, and I got jacked up by Mike Tyson. Oh, that's the way it is. Okay. So what does that mean for Micah Parsons? Soon. Does that mean the contract is coming soon? Is he now being like Terrence Parsons, who was like, oh, the Cowboys going to do the right thing. It's coming soon. Is that what we're talking about soon? Micah? Is it an insight onto the contract? Game time, Brian. What's up, game time, man? We got to get together. I forwarded those prints that you need, a primetime Phil and a Drew. Doing Drew's print on the machine might break my machine. I'll be honest with you, game time. Doing Drew on my CNC machine, it literally may break. Just letting you know. If it does, I'm about to send you a bill for it, okay? You understand. It's Drew, okay? All right. So what does it mean? Maybe it means all of the above. Soon, we're getting to training camp because I want a ball, okay? I want a ball. And soon, I'm going to get that money from the Cowboys because we're going to be in training camp. Is that what it all means? I don't know. You tell me. What does it mean? What does it mean to you? Soon the season will begin. Soon. Aisha Robinson, Karen, Terrell, game time. Chris May. What's up, Chris May? Terrell, Jeff Lee. My name is Jeff. I love weed in the first position. Latin King, Crown, Lola, I'll pass. Okay, so we have that. Then we got the Kayvon Turpin thing. And this is the one that's kind of crazy because it's 2 misdemeanor charges, right? It's 2 misdemeanor charges. Less than 2 ounces a week. The NFL doesn't test for weed anymore, right? They don't suspend for that. He wasn't like reckless driving or anything, right? He did have the gun, and he does have the charges back in 2018 or 2019 of domestic violence, which may be the thing that throws a wrench into it. And then I started thinking about Rashid Rice, who was car racing in Dallas, 120 mile an hour plus, accident with 7 cars, and then walked away from the scene. He literally hit and ran. Okay, not ran in his car. He ran on foot out, left the car. And that's got to be the dumbest thing out there. That you don't think that they know who owns the freaking car, right? That happened last summer, right? The trial's not even until next year. He didn't get suspended for that. I guess the NFL's waiting for the courts to do their due diligence. I don't know. And I'm thinking at first, yeah, well, it's no big deal. But some people out there, and this could be because now everybody has got to say something crazy to try and get some traction because everybody is on freaking YouTube. The market is saturated. You can't breathe. You got all the damn AI bullshit and everything else that's out there. So you click on that, it's like, oh, shit. It's the same stupid voice. You know, the Dallas Cowboys are predicted to change. And it's like, oh, God, not the freaking AI. Not the AI. And then you even get the worst ones. You get the Mike Farellos and shit. Okay. So the problem is how they conflate all of these things together. What is that on the counter, Mark? What, this? This right here, Lola? Right next to Jobu? You don't know what that is? Oh, my God. That is Bucky Beaver. That is Jobu's new friend, Bucky Beaver from Buc-ee's. We now have a Buc-ee's that's about 30 miles from me on the interstate, okay? Yeah, Buc-ee's. It's like the Walmart of gas stations. No trucks are allowed. Can't have tractor trailers. People go in and they literally disappear for days. It's kind of like a carnival when you go in there. And I had not experienced it, and it's huge. You see just like rows and rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of gas pumps. Cleanest bathrooms I've ever seen in my life. I think you could eat some pulled pork off the floors in the bathrooms. They were so clean. Not that I would recommend that. And they got 200,000 different flavors of beef jerky. And I swear, I had a garlic something or other beef jerky. I swear every time I take some of that garlic beef jerky, I feel a little high. I feel like I've been hanging with I Love Weed or Kayvon Turpin or something. And I was like, I got a bit of a buzz from the jerky. I'm serious. I swear I got a buzz from the beef jerky. And you'll see him there with the brisket, and they start doing some kind of chant, and dude's got a big knife, and he's chop, 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 chop. Okay? It's all a show. It's dinner and a show. I'll be real with you, and I don't mean no disrespect because I'm always disrespecting Whataburger, In-N-Out Burger, and Bucky. It was okay. It was okay. See, like when I get my pulled pork, I like coleslaw and hot sauce. If I go to a place and I don't see hot sauce bottles around, right? Some Tabasco, some habanero. I don't see a selection of hot sauce. I'm sorry, you don't rate for me. I was like, yo, dude, I got like the the three meat sandwich. It's got sausage and pork and turkey and everything. I got the pulled pork. I got the chopped brisket sandwich, right? And I'm looking at the pulled pork sandwich, and I'm like, dude, where's the toppings? Oh, we have these little containers of toppings. Okay, so they had some pickles. They had some onions. And I was like, where's the coleslaw? He's like, well, we got the packages over there of coleslaw with the potato salad. I'm like, where's the coleslaw with the sandwich, man? What the hell? He's like, we don't do coleslaw on the pulled pork. I was like, okay, all right, fine, no problem. You know, when in Rome, do as the Roman. I was like, well, where's the hot sauce? He said, you want hot sauce? You want hot sauce? I said, yeah, I want some hot sauce. He said, I'll be right back. And he left for like 5 minutes. He came back with 2 packets of hot sauce. The fuck you? What? Wait a minute. This is Buc-ee's grand open. You're telling me you don't have a bottle of hot sauce? You don't have a pump of hot sauce? What the hell are you doing? I was like, I can't believe. But then I saw Buc-ee. I saw Buc-ee. And then I felt a little better. Buc-ee calms me. But it was an experience. It was an experience. And if you look at my other channel, Joe Boo actually is out there scaring people. Yes, Joe Boo came back doing a Joe Boo report from Buc-ee's, and so on. So, but honestly though, if you are in VA and you're traveling on the interstates, okay, Buc-ee's, you know, if you have to go to a Buc-ee's at least once, okay, it's one of those things that are famous for being famous, right? And even Walker Wade will tell you, their sandwiches aren't. He's like, breakfast is really good. He said their pulled pork and stuff is like, it's okay. He didn't give it a ringing endorsement, okay? He didn't give it a ringing endorsement. But like I said, it's fun. If you're traveling, and people were coming from, I met a guy who follows me, you know, they're from New York. They drove down for the day just for the grand opening for Buc-ee's. Now, it's on the way. It's on the road. So, I mean, I can stop there, you know, without going out of my way. But I don't know that I would drive across state lines to say, I got to go to Buc-ee's. I'm sorry. And I mean, no disrespect. I had a great time there. The people were fun and all that. But, and you can make, like, starting out $20 an hour with full benefits. So you get paid working there. That's just, it's, how do we get on Buc-ee's? It's your fault, Lola. But if you really want some good pulled pork, in Front Royal, exit 13 on 66, I'll be real with you. Right there, if you're going to Skyline Drive, it's a gas station. It's an Exxon gas station, and they have a cafe in there. Their pulled pork was better than Buc-ee's. I'm keeping it real, y'all. I'm just keeping it real. Weirdo hater Lola. Okay. All right. So Micah Parsons is getting excited about being at training camp. Mark, I'm too far. You know, but the thing is, and you know what the real problem is, Lola? Is I got Q Charles, who's in Houston. And we have, there's Jet, who you know, is from Pennsylvania and was a bull rider in Texas. We got Q Charles, okay, who, of course, is in Houston. And they go to Buc-ee's all the time. And see, when you have something that is in your community, it's the best thing in the world. It's like the Whataburger or In-N-Out Burger. It's what you know. It's home. And so your perspective of that place is it's the best thing in the world. And I mean no disrespect. And if you're from Texas and you love Buc-ee's pulled pork, okay, who am I to judge another man or woman's taste? But I was not impressed. And if you don't have hot sauce on the ready, where I don't have to wait 5 minutes while my sandwich gets cold for you to find a couple of packets of hot sauce, and you come back with only two. I had 4 sandwiches. You only came back with 2 packets of hot sauce. I'm sorry. I digress. I've been pinning that up inside here that I need hot sauce. Lots of hot sauce. Logan Motorsports, amen on that one. When you see the tragic flooding, and having been dealing with aftermaths of floods and things, seeing that river rise as fast as it did, oh my God. That shit's crazy. We've had a lot of rain on the East Coast this year, and we've had flood watches and little flooding and trees down and stuff like that. But for the water to go up 26 feet in an hour. Now, we've got the South River that's about a mile, less than a mile from here. And they did flood downtown one time. But if it flooded 26 feet, even though I'm up on a hill, this place, the bottom of the house here would be underwater. Oh, no, Jay Smooth, bro. The 2 things that I am a connoisseur of, okay? Rum, I like different flavors of rum. I love, there's very little rum that I don't like, okay? Every rum has its place, okay? Even if it's Bacardi, light, which is what I grew up in college because it was cheap and got you drunk real easy. Or if it is, like some of the 1881 here, or the Zaya rum, okay? Hot sauce is another one of those things. And see, it's not just enough to get heat from a hot sauce, okay? When you get your insides burned out, you want flavor with that, okay? So that's where you end up getting like a mango habanero hot sauce, because you get the sweet and the heat on there. And it burns like hell. But man, I tell you what, you put some of that mango hot sauce, habanero hot sauce, it burns so good. It's almost like, ooh, baby. Okay, you got to have hot sauce. I make a tuna fish sandwich. Got to put the Texas Pete hot sauce on there. You got to have that burn. And if it's a really good hot sauce, it's a 2-burn hot sauce. It burns going in and it burns going out. And that's when you know you got some good hot sauce. I'm just saying, if you come to my house, you're going to have a multitude of kinds of hot sauce to have. And you're going to get some coleslaw if you want on your pulled pork. Okay? You just will. You just will. Okay? Is this a cooking channel? Momo, do you have to... You know what? Momo, I swear, you are like my wife. Because here's what happens. I have visions. I see what I want to happen in my head. I know what it's going to look like, okay? And I just do. And I start doing something, and my wife is always like, well, why didn't you ask me? What the fuck do you mean, why did I ask you? Excuse me, Dad, I'm sorry. Because this is what I want to do. I got a vision. It was just like the rock border around the flower beds. I did it around one. Well, why don't you do some around the other one so I can look and check it first? What the fuck you mean you got to check it? And Mo, you come, what is this, a cooking channel? Bro, we're in the dead zone here. There ain't nothing going on other than Kayvon Turpin being arrested and maybe he's going to be suspended. Yeah, she's watching. So, true story, a true thing here, okay? We had from my sister-in-law like an antique pump that she had in her yard, and she didn't want. She's like, why don't you put it over Red Brick House? So it's been sitting in the yard there, just by itself, just rusting up. So I cleaned it up because I had a vision in my head. I have 2 visions. what I thought was I would go ahead and build like a horse trough out of wood, like an old West horse trough. And I would take the old-fashioned pump and I would hook up, run a hose into it and put a water pump into it, so that way it's constantly circulating the water. And then you get some water plants to grow out of it. So the birds can come in and get some water, chip, chip, and get some fresh water. You have the sound of the water. If a horse happens to come by, they can come by and get some water. But I didn't have enough wood, antique wood to do that. But I'm just playing this out in my mind. So I got a rubber, black container, and I got the hose into it, and I put the water pump in just to see how it looked. And I figured I'll go ahead and take some castle stones and put around it and put that in the center of it, and I'll have plants go around it and grow up it. And my wife looks at it, and she, I'm just running the test on it. I have my vision in my head. She looks at it, the same way everything that I had about, like, when I said about the rocks. Now, she looks at the rocks. Oh, my God, the rocks look so beautiful. Oh, it's so incredible. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's like, why don't we just skip to me finishing it, and then you critique it? Okay? Now, if you'd like to talk about something, Momo, let me say that Jalen Daniels is the latest hottie that, of course, they're talking about. You heard that Mike Farello's got the Commanders as one of the teams that are Super Bowl contenders. He must be taking notes from you, Momo. But here's what I'm going to say is, you had a worse defensive line than we did last year, which is saying something, because ours sucked. And we got your best player, edge rusher-wise, over here. Your number one wide receiver is still holding out. And we have a rookie quarterback who there was no book on. And, last year, this time, it was C.J. Stroud. Was it C.J.? That was the hottie that he was up there talking about, hey, I'm a top 5 quarterback and everything. I was hanging out with Micah Parsons, right? How'd he do? I remember Jordan Love, too. Everybody, Jordan Love, man, he's incredible. Both of those guys took a step back. Why? Because they had a tougher schedule the next year. And defensive coordinators now have film on you. If you think that the Commanders, who can't even get the city council to just say yes to a new stadium, that they can't even get that right, instead of by the 12th saying, here's the rubber stamp, go ahead and build the stadium. Then they're like, nah, we don't have to be in a rush. We can wait till September to vote.